Today, I want to share with you one of the most deadly mistakes health professionals make in their business. And I want to share with you so you don't make the same mistake. Really simply. All right, guys, what's going on? Yuri Elkaim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals get clients and scale their businesses online. And today I want to share a true story with you about one of our clients who brought this up, or this is kind of happening to one of our clients. So I just thought I'd take the situation to explain how to avoid making a deadly mistake. So for context, we help all of our clients build, deploy, perfect their perfect client pipeline. So we have a traffic source, in our case, our Facebook ads, into a webinar. From the webinar, we invite people to book a call with us, or the individual who's running the pipeline, right? The head of the business, the coach, whatever. So there are two fundamental skills that our clients need to master. Now, again, you don't need to master them to get great results, but you have to develop them. And that is copywriting and sales. Okay. Said otherwise, if we were to put an umbrella over top of those, it's called communication. Got that? Okay. So it doesn't matter, like if you are the leader of a business, the number one skill you can develop at no matter what business model you're running is communication. The ability to clearly articulate ideas so that other people understand them and that they feel understood by you is the number one most important skill you must develop no matter what business model you are running. And if you try to avoid that, you will fail no matter what. And I don't want that to happen to you, okay? That's why I'm sharing this with you. Okay, so one of our clients has been running her pipeline. Her numbers looking really good. She's getting lots of calls booked. And she started talking about how she's not wanting to do the sales calls anymore. Discovery calls, enrollment calls, whatever you want to call them. And this is a really, really dangerous mistake because here's what you have to understand. If you don't enjoy doing sales, what else are you going to do? Okay. So if you do not speak with people on the phone or on Zoom or in person to enroll them in a program with you that is several $1,000s, because that's what you should be charging because you're amazing, then what else are you going to do to get people to work with you? Because I'll tell you what's not going to work. And this is what our client has decided that she may want to look into, or she's kind of playing with, is writing long sales pages, like we call it long ass copy, right? In the world of copywriting and marketing, long ass copy, long ass sales page. You know those sales pages that just keep going on and on and on and on forever? Well, I'll tell you this. When I started my first business in 2006, that's the world I lived in. And I wrote hundreds of those pages, not one or two, hundreds. And I'll tell you from firsthand experience that most of them sucked. And I got very good at copywriting, and still most of them tanked. And if you talk to any amazing copywriter, most of their best work wasn't the majority of their work, right? We're talking about like 10 to 20% of everything they write is a home run. So if you have to understand this, so if you do not want to speak with people on the phone, how else are people going to buy from you? Are they going to go to your website and hit a buy now button? Well, that's the dream, passive income. I don't have to talk with anyone. They'll buy from me. Here's the reality. That's not going to happen. And if it does, here are the two things you have to recognize. Number one, let's say you sell a program for $3,000 for an amazing transformational 12-week program. Do you think that someone who doesn't know you, we're talking about cold traffic, we're not talking about friends and family, people coming through. We're talking about people who've never heard of you, are now going to land on a sales page, and they're going to read this long sales page, which, by the way, has to be written so expertly to be able to keep the person going through it. And then at the end, they see the buy now button and they click on that, and the checkout page says $3,000, and they're like, are you fucking crazy? That is never going to happen. Now, in my time, having written hundreds of sales pages for all of the products that we sold, every single sales page was either $5, $10, $47, $97, or somewhere in that area. Never in my life, and I have not seen a sales page, even by the world's best copywriters, that has gone to a checkout button for several $1,000s. Now, there's obviously the exception to that where there's a bit of a niche market and everyone knows who the person is, and we'll put that aside. But for most mere mortals like us, you are not going to get people to convert on a long form sales page for anything more than $100. And I promise you this. And we're talking about, like, even if you're amazing, you are a wordsmith, a magician, 3% of people will buy. That's typically what an amazing high conversion rate would look like. But let's just use the average of 1%, because that's really the reality. And let's just say that you had some miraculous ability to sell something for $100 from your website, and you want to make $10,000 a month. You would need to sell 100 people that $100 thing. That's 100 people at a 1% conversion rate. You would need at least 10,000. So is that right? 1%. I don't know my calculator here. I believe it's 10,000 visits. You would need 10,000 people to visit your webpage for 100 people to buy at a 1% conversion rate. That makes sense. Yes. Where's the traffic coming from? Where's the traffic coming from? Do you have a massive email list that's hugely engaged and clicking on all your emails? Do you have a massive social following that when you post something, everyone's like, oh my God, I got to go to that webpage? Probably not. So what's the alternative? Do you have a bunch of joint venture partners who are going to send a ton of traffic to you? Most likely not, unless your conversions are dialed in and the cart value is so high that they make a ton of money. So the third option is you buy ads, you buy Facebook ads, etc. To a $100 product, you have to be the world's most incredible copywriter / wordsmithing magician to make that work. That's the alternative if you don't enjoy phone sales. Now, I want to help you shift your mindset around sales, because sales equals coaching. Sales and coaching are the exact same thing. If I were to come up with a dictionary or a thesaurus, when I type in coaching, synonym would be selling. Selling and coaching are the same thing. Selling is the first step to transforming someone's life. That's it. If you cannot get someone sold on their bigger future or why working with you is the smartest thing for them to do, you're going to have a tough time. If you can't sell your kids on brushing their teeth, you're going to have a tough time. Selling is everything, guys. And it's the one skill that if you develop will transform your future forever. Like, it's just crazy how much leverage there is in being able to enroll someone who is a good fit, who you know you can help, and they know they want your help. But instead of letting them go with it's too expensive, can't afford it, need to think about it, need to meditate on it, those are all excuses for the most part. When you understand the nuances of what is really happening in our minds that is not allowing someone to move forward, and by the way, it's a 4-letter word that starts with F and it doesn't rhyme with duck. I'll let you think on that one for a second. When you understand how to move through that stuff and develop the skill of having a coaching conversation with someone that gets to the heart of the matter, that gets to the truth of their situation, that comes from a place of you caring so much about this person that it literally brings tears to your eyes because you know you can help them. Now, if you know you can't help them and they don't want your help, then that's fine. Like, the call's over. But my hope for you and really all the clients that we work with is that you can get to a point in almost every single conversation you have with a prospect where you feel in your heart so pulled to help this person that you do not let them go. Because if you let them go, you let them down. And they came to you, they booked a call with you because they knew at some level there's something about you that could transform their life. And think about this. There are 3 billion people on Facebook and Instagram. They never knew you existed. And all of a sudden, here they are booking a call with you. Like, how incredible is that? And what a shame to lose that because we don't know how to have the conversation. Don't expect people to say yes without resistance. Expect people to say no. Expect people to have objections and skepticisms, but learn how to handle that stuff. Learn what they really mean when they say, I need to think about it. Learn what they really mean when they say, I need to talk to my spouse first. Because all of that isn't the truth. And if you think it is, you're missing the bigger picture. It's like you're kind of seeing, everything in front of the curtain, but you have no clue about what's happening behind the curtain that's helping everything happen in front of the curtain. But once you can peel back the curtain and understand, oh, when this happens, this person does this, when they say this, this is what actually is being said, that all of a sudden becomes a superpower. And the beautiful thing about selling, again, selling is serving. Think about it, like, it's not about being pushy. It's not about being salesy. It's about truly caring about the individual, because he or she who cares most about the prospect wins. And if you win, they win, because you can't win if they lose. That's the beautiful part about coaching. We're not selling someone something they don't want. We're not selling something we're not selling them something that is going to be a detriment to their life. No one you work with is ever going to come back to you a couple months down the road and be like, man, you're such an asshole for really helping me see the light and working with you. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to have an enrollment conversation. It's either going to be like an easy yes, or in the most cases, a little bit more resistance, and you get good at handling that. And when you do, it's going to feel uncomfortable initially. You're going to have to ask some hard questions, and that might be uncomfortable. But I promise you that those clients that you enroll will thank you. They will thank you for changing their life. And that's what you have to hold on to. That's what you have to hold on to in this position. It's not about being salesy. It's not about being pushy. It's about, please do not take my persistence as pressure. I'm simply passionate about wanting to help you because I know I can. And you booked this call for a reason. And if I let you go, I let you down, right? And there's all sorts of ways of handling this stuff. But at a high understanding level, please understand that if you can build the skill of selling, which again is coaching, right? Because a good coach is going to help someone get through their own shit. It's just before they start working with you. That's all this is. It's about being very upfront with people. It's about being honest with people. It's about not letting people make excuses for the lack of results and continuing to get away with that, right? This is a skill that I was terrible at. I was the worst at this years and years and years ago. And then I had to get very good. And I would do this hours upon hours a day, speaking with prospects. The difference, though, is that I had no frameworks. I had no script. I had no ways to overcome objections. I had to learn all this stuff on the fly. And with our clients, we give them everything. Here's how to overcome everything. Here's how to deal with this. Here's exactly what this person means when they say this. Here's how to handle it. And giving them the ecosystem to practice and get better at those conversations. And this is what I want to really encourage you to think about, is that there is no easier way. There are only simpler ways. And I can promise you, trying to get people to buy your course or ebook or whatever from a page is crazy hard. It is crazy hard. And when you reverse engineer the math, it's almost insane. It doesn't even make sense. But if you want to make $10,000 in a month or add $10,000 to your revenue, and you charge $3,300 for a client, that's 3 clients a month. If you have 10 conversations in a month, could you enroll 3 people? I certainly hope so. We're not talking about 10,000 people. We're talking about 10 conversations. 3 of them say yes. That's as simple as it needs to be. But there's a very big difference between 10 conversations and no yeses and 10 conversations and 3 yeses. And the ability to know how to move someone to yes because it's in their best interest is the most important skill. I don't care if you're a chiropractor, physical therapist, naturopath, health coach, dietitian, nutritionist, personal trainer, etc. It is the most important skill you must develop. And if you're not willing to develop that, well, please don't say you want certain results, because you're not going to get there, at least online, with the typical, I'm going to shoot some Instagram videos and people are going to flock to my feed and do business with me. Trust me. If you've got a following and they like you, all that stuff is going to help the enrollment conversation. But you have to speak with people. You have to get on the phone and you have to have a conversation so they feel understood by you. They feel like you're the right match for them. And that's a simple skill that just takes repetition and the right guidance to get better at. I plead with you guys, there is no easier way to enroll clients than speaking with them on the phone. Well, there is, speaking with them in person, okay? But virtually, it's in person, then it's on Zoom video, then it's by phone, and then it's a one-to-many group call, and then it's to a web page, maybe. Like actually, it would probably be like an automated webinar to a checkout page, then a sales page. But don't do any of that stuff. Just get one person on the phone or on Zoom, have a conversation with them, show them you care, show them you've got a solution that makes sense, and get them to say yes. Build that skill, your life will transform forever. Cool?